Christmas is a holiday often associated with generosity, family gatherings, and the gift-bearing gent in red and white known as Santa Claus. But jolly old Saint Nick isn't the only Yuletime visitor in December. Santa, as tradition would have it, has several darker counterparts that have existed throughout the holiday landscape and terrorized children during the dark and bleak months of the midwinter season. Let's take a look at some of our favorites. This monstrous feline stalks the entire country of Iceland, looking for those without new clothes on Christmas Eve. Upon finding such a poor soul, should one miss the deadline, the Yule Cat spares no mercy and eats the human before resuming the hunt for others. Although the origin for the Yule Cat is debated, and there are several theories as to its beginnings, there's one theory we found to be particularly interesting. In 19th century Iceland, the winter season was especially hard and required all men, women, and children to pitch in for its preparation. One of these preparations required the processing of wool into yarn to sell and clothing to wear. It was during this time that many families would spend time together, reading stories and playing games. This holiday season tradition was necessary for the society to properly function. Those who chose to do otherwise would affect the winter provisions for the entire household. Perhaps a lack of wool would mean a lack of clothing and people freezing. So, if you didn't have new clothes by Christmas time, it meant you were being lazy in your winter preparations, and you might get a visit from the Yule Cat. Gryla is a giantess who keeps the Yule Cat as a pet. Her appearance is repulsive, and it is said that the mere sight of her can cause death, with unusually long arms and cloven hooves for legs. Gryla is a terrifying sight. Her origin is debatable, but some say that she was God's first attempt at creation, and upon witnessing her horror, she was banished to Iceland. She is described as a beggar who asks parents to give their disobedient children to her. Often during a snowstorm, she would embark from her cave deep in the forest in search of young blood to consume. Finding her victims, she would consume them alive before anyone would find her. Eventually, stories of Gryla were so graphic they were outlawed in some places. Iceland isn't the only country to have a frightening-like predator stalking children around the holidays. Frau Perchta was the upholder of cultural taboos, such as the prohibition against spinning on holidays. In the folklore of Bavaria and Austria, Perchta was said to roam the countryside at midwinter and to enter homes during the 12 days between Christmas and Epiphany. She would know whether the children and young servants of the household had behaved well and worked hard all year. If they had, they might find a small silver coin the next day in a shoe or pail. If they had not, she would slit their bellies open, remove their stomach and guts, and stuff the hole with straw and pebbles. She was particularly concerned to see that girls had spun the whole of their allotted portion of flax or wool during the year. She would also slit people's bellies open and stuff them with straw if they ate something on the night of her feast day other than the traditional meal of fish and gruel. The Pennsylvania Dutch had their own dark visitor around the holidays. Belsnickel, meaning Nicholas with fur, would visit kids around the holidays, interrogating them on their behavior, good or bad. Bad children might be beaten with sticks, while good children would receive candy. Sometimes, Belsnickel would throw candy on the floor, and if a child reached for the candy too quickly, it was evidence of their misbehavior, and the appropriate punishment would ensue. Belsnickel may have been based on an older German myth, Knecht Ruprecht, a servant of Saint Nicholas and a character from northern Germany. Unlike those figures, Belsnickel does not accompany Saint Nicholas, but instead visits alone and combines both the threatening and the benign aspects, which in other traditions are divided between Saint Nicholas and the companion figure. Belsnickel even made an appearance on The Office when Dwight dresses up as Old Bells instead of Santa Claus at the holiday party. Krampus may be the most popular evil companion to Santa Claus. Krampus is a half-goat, half-demon creature with a big red tongue and a thirst for children on the naughty list. In some mythologies, he is the son of Hel, the goddess of the underworld. Each year on December 5th, Krampus prowls the street looking for children who have misbehaved throughout the year. Bad children are beaten, kidnapped, or thrown into an icy river, while good kids who survive will receive gifts from St. Nicholas on December 6th. In some traditions, St. Nicholas and Krampus visit on the same night, with Krampus just behind St. Nick in case a child is found to be less than worthy. Krampus fanfare is more popular than ever, with parades held throughout the world known as Krampuslofts. In these parades, Krampus carries birch sticks, scaring people and even hitting them. Crowds gather in anticipation to get a glimpse at this Yuletime monster. Some events even allow pictures with Krampus, similar to the traditional pictures with Santa that Western culture is accustomed to. Although the holiday season may conjure images of red and white happiness for some, the imprint of the Yule Cat, Gryla, Frau Perchta, Belsnickel, and Krampus serve as a frightening reminder to children everywhere to behave or face the wrath of these monstrous intruders. What are some of your favorite horrific holiday companions? Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments. And remember, be good or else.